Well, thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Aaliya Ali. So I'm a tech writer or slash content designer. So yeah, I've been working in tech for a few years since 2016. And before that, I was working in different industries. I was working at a company called Ofcom, and then I moved into commercial property, and then I did support healthcare for a while. But yeah, I've been in content for probably total of 8 years, and it's been really good. So I write help center support, and I sort of do UX writing as well. So yeah, it's been a good run.
Ali, what got you into tech writing?
So my first permanent job after university was documentation writing. It involved documentation writing. And then I I did it for a while. I really liked doing it, but then I thought, oh, okay, I'm not sure what the career prospects were at the time. So this was back in early 2000s. And that's when Google internet was just basically, the internet was still a new thing. So it was just a few years, the internet was only a few years old. So I went into property, and then I got made redundant in property, but I didn't really want to go back into it. I didn't really enjoy it. Um, and so I did a stopgap and I went into healthcare. And then I was thinking, well, healthcare is not that well paid. So I was thinking, oh, I do like writing. And everyone was saying, oh, your writing is good. So I just looked up a refresher course, and I got back into it basically. And I just started applying on LinkedIn to loads of different places. And I got a placement at a company called Datix, which does the NHS incident reporting tool. So that was my first software experience. And then from there, I went into a company that's now called Altus. And then I went into Anaplan, which is where I know you. So yeah. Yeah.
But I guess in addition to your professional life, what are some of your hobbies and other interests?
Yeah, so I like doing drawing. So I used to do art at school, and then I sort of picked it up. I picked it up properly over COVID, over the pandemic period. So I do sort of painting with acrylics, and I do drawing with pastels and things like that. And I try to do like fitness as well. So I'd sign up for runs like 5Ks and things like that. So that's quite good. Um, that's pretty much it. I've started doing a bit of creative writing as well, but I've dropped it and I need to pick it up again. So yeah, I just started writing a short story, but it's the first time I've done it properly. So yeah, I haven't finished it properly yet. I need to go over it again and see what I can do there. Because when I was at Anaplan, I met quite a lot of people that were doing creative writing, and a lot of people have published books and things like that. So and I actually just started doing it because I just took a course. I took a creative writing course just for the fun of it, and then I started doing it. And then when I found out all these other people just write books and stuff, I thought, oh, it'd be good to get into it and see how far I can take it. So yeah, it's just a hobby really. So yeah.
Wow, I didn't know anybody at Anaplan wrote books.
So many people. In the writing team that I was in, there was a lady called Rose Smith, a person called Rose Smith, and she was always saying, oh, I've just published a book. Like every few months I've just published a book. And there was a UX writer, he came in, he'd written a book. There was somebody else that had come over from Google. She had published her first novel. Yeah, I think in our writing team, a lot of people were publishing books. So I was really surprised. I didn't realize that it was so many people were doing it. So yeah.
Wow. And then with the drawing and the painting, what are some of your favorite things to draw?
So I like doing faces, like so portrait. So what I do, I usually get a photo and I do it, and I like the kind of graphic kind of style, like pop arty graphic sort of style. I've got one in the background, but I've got my blur on. But yeah, one sec, I'll take my blur off, and then so oh, I don't know if you can see it actually, but yeah, there's that one there.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah, yeah, there's that one there. So yeah, I just enjoy doing it. It's really nice. It's really relaxing. Yeah, and I've always liked pop art and graphics. So yeah, when I was younger, I did a web design course, and we used Photoshop. So I used to mess around with Photoshop and Flash as well. I wasn't like particularly amazing or anything, but I just used to really enjoy like sort of doing the computer design and just doing like different patterns and pictures, and there's loads of different filters you could use as well. So yeah, and then I just thought I'd just pick it up again. So yeah, I've started doing it again. Yeah, it's really relaxing. I started putting an Instagram account now just to motivate myself, and then it'd be good to see where that goes as well, but I need to do it a bit more regularly.
That's yeah, it's hard to develop these habits, and also it's hard to do it whenever you may not feel inspired. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I got this really great idea, and you can spend hours on it. And then, does that happen to you, or?
Definitely. It's like you get these days where you're like, oh, I really want to do it. And you put your time in, and you just do it, and you really get into it. And then there's other times where you just think, oh no, I'm too tired, too knackered to do it. Or you just don't feel like you're in the mood. And then that can go on for a few days or a couple of weeks or something. So, and then you get back in the mood again. I think it depends what's going on. If you're quite busy or something like that, then maybe, you don't have as much time. If you're a bit more relaxed and you feel like you've got a bit of free time, then it's something to do. But yeah, it's maybe it's better just to do a little bit anyway, even if you're not in the mood, just to keep going. But yeah, it's nice when you do it though. It's very relaxing. Yeah,
It's a big challenge, how to keep something that you really like, and then if you push yourself on those days you don't want to, that's become something you don't. It's just like
exactly. You want to keep it enjoyable. So this is the whole thing. So yeah, I kind of wait till I'm in the mood for it. If I'm not in the mood, I might not pick it up. Yeah. I wouldn't want to do it professionally, because I think professionally you have to do everything to a brief and things like that. And I think if you're not doing it professionally, you're just doing it for yourself, you can kind of do whatever you want, and you don't even have to necessarily follow all the proper rules and things. You can do your own thing. So that's really nice.
that is good, and you could be truly creative. You're
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's good. And it's nice to develop your own style as well, because like when you go on like Instagram, there's a few people and they've all got like really distinctive styles. Sometimes when you go on YouTube, there's a lot of people doing like this kind of modern day pop art, and it looks really cool, but everyone's got a similar way of doing it. So it's nice. I think if you keep doing it regularly, then you work out, you sort of find that you've got a specific way of doing it. Like it's not necessarily like you make it like that. It's just sort of naturally it happens. That's what I've noticed. I notice when I draw and stuff, it's kind of, I seem to have my own style. I think it's just the way your brain works and how it interprets things.
Yeah, it's very human, very personal, very maybe nonverbal. It's kind of interesting how you're like a word mechanic, but then for your downtime, you like to do non-wordy things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. I think I like writing for business. I like doing writing just for the job. It's sort of an interesting job, and the good thing about my job is that you work with a lot of different teams as well, but you're a bit behind the scenes, so there's not too much pressure with the clients and stuff like that. But yeah, you kind of want to do something completely different in your downtime, definitely. But it's nice to do something creative, so definitely.
So between 1969 and 1972, we had 12 people walk on the moon. One of them came back. His name's Alan Bean, and he spent the rest of his life learning to paint. And he's made all these kind of trying to take that experience and turn it into art. It's kind of interesting.
Oh wow. Oh, I never heard of him. Oh, that sounds really good. So has he got pictures of the moon and what it was like on the moon? Oh wow.
He
Did
does,
you
and
do?
even in some, he's taken like bits of his mission patches on the moon and embedded them in the paint. And then, of course, in those in that material, there's also moon dust. So you got kind of.
Oh wow. Oh, that's really cool. That's amazing. Yeah, that's brilliant. Does he exhibit all his work?
It does get exhibited. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, but he has painted a lot, and I'm not sure all the places where you can see his art, but there's definitely pictures of it online for sure. Alan
Yeah.
Bean.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see something with real moon dust as well.
Yeah. But kind of the interesting thing is, the moon is like, we look at it as being all gray and dull, but in his art, he feels like he's trying to bring to life that experience with lots of color, and it's kind of interesting how he does that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, because in the pictures, it's pitch black and it's like white. It's a white planet. It's like, yeah, it'd be interesting. That's interesting that he's doing that. Yeah. Does it give you an idea of what the experience is?
I think it gives an idea of the effect of the experience on him. So maybe that third level down, it's like.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. That sounds really cool. Yeah, I'll definitely look him up.
But can you believe that it's been 1972 since the last time somebody walked on the moon?
Yeah, I can't. That's a really, really long time ago. That's like before I was born.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that he was one of the so nobody's walked on the moon. People have walked on the moon since then, or
Nope, 1972 was the
really?
last time. Yeah.
Oh, so what about those people that go in the rockets? Who was that guy from Britain? Tim,
Oh,
was it
Tim
Tim?
Peake?
Yeah, yeah.
So he just went into orbit around the Earth. So only
Oh,
went like 200, 300 miles up. Not the uh, you know the
oh,
250,000 miles to the moon. So
oh, wow. Oh, how come they don't walk on the moon then? They don't. They just don't have the equipment anymore, or
they
they're too
yeah they,
scared.
they don't have the equipment anymore. So that they've just
Oh,
been in low Earth orbit, we call it. So
oh, that's a shame. It would have been amazing just to walk on the moon, and you defy gravity as well, right? So you're jumping around.
well, the thing is, the moon has 1/6 the gravity of Earth, so things fall a lot slower on the moon than they do on Earth. So whenever you jump up, it takes longer before you come down.
That's really cool. It's like you're living in slow motion. That's pretty cool.
And all your reflexes are out of kilter. They're used to this particular gravity.
Oh, that's crazy. That must be mad. Oh, do you think anyone will ever walk on the moon again then?
I do. So NASA has plans to send people to the moon, send astronauts to the moon in like 2025. And then China is talking about also sending people to the moon sometime in this decade. So I think before 2030, we would have had several people back to the moon.
Yeah. Oh, that would be really good. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think there's all this stuff about like Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos and um doing the moon trips as well, right? So if you're a billionaire, you could book a trip to the moon, and then just like you would book a holiday or something like that. It sounds really, really cool.
Now, Richard Branson and his Virgin Galactic only takes you above the atmosphere and only for a few minutes, and then you come back down. So you don't even get into orbit around the Earth. And so much less to the moon. So you're just up high while it's kind of in that trajectory where it's in free fall. You get a little bit of weightlessness. You can look out the window and see the blackness of space and the curvature of the Earth. And but you're really close. And Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin has a rocket called New Shepard, named after Alan Shepard, who was the first American to go above the atmosphere. And it just like is a 15-minute trip from launch to landing. And you spend, just a few minutes at the top there, just above the atmosphere. So both of those are not even to orbit, much less to the moon. So
I guess you pay for the view then, just the view, and say, "Oh look, I've been in space." Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Oh wow, sounds really exciting. Yeah.
But if it was safe and affordable, would you take a trip like that?
Yeah, I would. I would wait till a few people have done it just to check it's safe, and then if they've all like come back, they've survived and they've all come back in one piece, and yeah, definitely I would book it. Oh yeah, it'd be awesome.
How many people would need to go before you felt safe?
I don't know, maybe maybe 15, maybe 100. I think that would be okay, because 100, there would be a percentage then. So yeah, and then I would get in. Yeah, then I would probably just book it. I mean, it would be cool to do it, especially say something like if you did it over a special holiday, like on your birthday or New Year's Eve or something like that, or go to the moon for Christmas or something. That would be really cool. Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah. I'm always a bit scared about when people go on rockets and stuff, because I know some rockets have blown up, but then I think it's only one or two that have blown up, and everyone else has been fine. So yeah, I think it would be really cool to do. Or I might just, or another option would be do what William Shatner did and just wait till you're really, really old and then you do it, because you've got nothing to lose then. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't really matter. It's just a good way to go. So
of course, you may not be able to enjoy the experience as much either. That's the other thing. If you're having to go around in a cane, you might not be so much up for the acrobatics of to do like flips and stuff. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I guess you have to make a decision. Maybe do it. Maybe something to do before you're 50 or something like that. Maybe that would work. You're still functioning okay.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I used to think 50 was like really, really old. Now that I'm like 3 years away from it, 4 years away from it, I think 50 is when life really begins. Everything until then is just practice.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like a few years away from it. I'm thinking, 50 doesn't seem old anymore. It seems kind of young. Yeah. But there's a lot of celebrities that are 50 and like they're still going. So yeah, I think it's fine. And I guess when you know people around that mark, you think, okay, it's not actually that old. It's not too bad. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are booking to go to Mars as well. I saw that a few years ago. There was a girl from in the UK, and she had like all her life in the UK, I guess, on Earth. And then she's booked to go to Mars, and then it's a one-way trip to Mars. So that's pretty crazy as well. And she's sort of looking forward to doing that. So it sounds like people are going to be able to live on different planets at some point.
Do you think that will happen? That we'll have people living on different planets?
Um, I'm not sure. I think they're thinking if this planet gets so damaged, like I think it's all to do with climate change as well. But I'm not sure. It might be a possibility. I mean, if people are booking it, I mean, you don't know how far technology's really gone. And like this, the stuff that all these scientists and stuff do behind the scenes, we don't even see it. Like they're so advanced, like all the governments and stuff, they're so advanced than what we see now. Like the internet we have now, they would have seen it, I don't know how many years ago. So maybe it's possible. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know what it'd be like there. I don't know how we would adapt to a new planet. I don't know if you get to the new planet and then you have to wear like oxygen mask or something to help you climatize. But yeah, it would be interesting. It would be nice to visit the planet. I'm not sure I'd want to leave everything. But it'd be nice to visit it. Yeah. Maybe do like a Mars exchange or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, based upon our current understanding of the solar system, Earth is the absolutely best place to live. And even if we completely messed up the Earth, it would still be the best place to live.
Okay, I don't know what these people are going to do then when they if they ever go to Mars. It might not happen.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to live inside of buildings and put on a suit every time they go out. And the atmosphere is very thin. Even if you're at the tallest mountain on Earth, it's still much thicker on Earth than it is on Mars. Like the atmosphere is very thin, and it's extremely cold too. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I wonder if they tell them that when they book it. Yeah, I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Now, I think the thing you're talking about is this group called Mars One that had a whole bunch of people kind of book up for a one-way trip. You know, if you look at that company, all they had was a graphics designer and kind of like a guy to run it. So they didn't exactly, you know, it didn't have a credible operation in terms of no human resource department, no engineering, no no anything, just a whole bunch of excited people with dreams of doing something exceptional to but on the other hand though, have you heard of Elon Musk?
Yeah, yeah,
What have
yeah.
you heard of Elon?
So I know he's responsible for the electric cars. I know he was talking at some point about doing some underground system. I don't know if it was a driving system or something, but I know he's doing something with space, but I can't remember what. Something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has a company called SpaceX, which, you know, most rockets, whenever they launch satellites into orbit, they throw away the rocket and they have to rebuild the entire thing. So his big kind of accomplishment is he's had the biggest part of the rocket actually come down and land, and they're able to refurbish it, refill it, and launch it again. So that's greatly reduced the cost and the turnaround time. Over half of all the launches in the world this year will be done by SpaceX rockets, by his company.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Yeah.
and even with that rocket, there's still the second stage that gets thrown away. But
Mhm.
he's working on building this fully reusable, huge rocket down here in South Texas that would be able to carry 100 people at a time. And it would be cheaper to launch than any rocket ever built. And you would be able to just land it, refill it, launch it again, land it, refill it, and launch again. And he's planning to use it for point-to-point Earth travel. So you'll be able to go from Houston to London, London to Houston in like 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you could also use this rocket to get you to orbit. So if you wanted to go see, you know, go on holiday while floating above the Earth, you could use this rocket to get you to the moon, and you could use this rocket to get you to Mars. And he wants to build a 1,000,000-person city on Mars by 2050.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's crazy. Do you think he'll be able to do that?
I do.
Like, oh God. Oh, that's insane. Oh, that's mad. He's got some really, I don't know how he does it, how he comes out with all these like really innovative ideas. He's like so ahead of his time. Yeah, it sounds like the rocket is going to be like a modern day Concorde. It's just like going to zoom you across to the other side of the world.
And they've already built the rocket and then some test flights. So it's not just PowerPoints and kind of visionary statements, but actual real hardware that you can see and that is being tested and built.
Oh wow. So it's actually working then. It's looking like it's going to work and
Well, they've only done kind of, they wanted to see if the landing would work right. So they sent it up, I think it was something like 10 kilometers, maybe higher, and then had it land. And now they want to like send it around the earth, but they're waiting for approval from the regulatory agencies to do that launch. But I
are
think
they
this
going to
year
put,
you'll see it in orbit. I think this
yeah.
year it'll make it to space.
Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, how long has he been working on that then? Just a few, it's not been that long, has it?
Well, he started SpaceX in 2000. They started with like a little bitty rocket, then they made a bigger rocket, then they made a bigger rocket. He's been really working on this publicly. It's been known since like 2016.
Yeah.
But he's really like this current iteration's really just been the past few years. So
Oh wow.
it's been really going quick, exponentially.
Yeah, that's really, really quick. He's just changing the face of travel. He's just like amazing. That's really cool. Is he gonna test it with real people inside, or is just gonna the rocket is automated and
The rocket's automated. It plans to test it launching satellites and without people. Now make sure you get that it's safe, and then once you figure out it's safe, then you can start launching with people. So that seems like a good plan.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I didn't realize he had taken it that far. Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought it was just an idea at the moment and he was just working on it.
Yeah, no. In fact, he gave an update last Thursday in South Texas. He had a big event and kind of walked through where he is, where he's going, answered questions, and I think uh, I think it is really something that we might see. I honestly think the 2020s are going to be to space what the 1990s were to the internet.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it. It's just like they're just the technology is just moving so quickly. Yeah, it's amazing. Would you go on his rocket? Would you go on Elon Musk's space rocket?
I think I would. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I would.
yeah. Is it going to be affordable then? Is it, or is it going to be for billionaires? Or
Well, he says that he could do the point-to-point Earth travel
Mhm.
for the equivalent of a first-class airline ticket. That they would be profitable at that price. So I'm not sure about the first-class airline ticket from London to Houston, but I think it's probably in order of like $3,000 to $4,000.
Wow.
So not something you would do every day, but definitely something it's not unreasonable to save up for.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You could just put a few savings away and then, yeah, just book it. Yeah, that would be really cool. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know how he comes up with all these ideas. I don't know how he's managed to work all this out. It's just crazy.
We should figure that out and see how to get more people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good. It would change our lifestyles dramatically, definitely.
And it's hard to keep up sometimes. Future shock, I think, is what they call it.
Yeah. I can't believe we've got driverless cars. Like that's just insane that, and that's what they want us to use, like in a few years' time, just driverless cars. It's just, I never expected that. And the
Yeah.
robot thing as well, so many robotics that you can use for anything. They've got something like a robot nurse as well. They've trialed somewhere. And then there was one, they used a robot to work out, so they give it loads of information, loads of algorithms and information, and it's able to, I think it's able to come up with a diagnosis or a way to, a remedy for something, for some kind of illness and stuff like that. So it's just crazy how everything's becoming more and more technology based. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that brings up a good question. When you look at the future of humanity in like 100, 200, 300 years, what do you see? Like, what images come to mind? Is it a place that you want to be?
I think it's got its pros and cons. So I think there's a lot of things that we can't tackle now that with advanced technology we probably would be able to. And it might make, like, especially when you get older and stuff, if you've grown up with technology, it might make your life a lot more, it give you a lot of convenience, moving around and stuff like that. But I don't know if I want to be a part of it. I kind of think, I think it will be amazing to some point, but I'm kind of glad that I grew up before the internet, before we even started using the internet, and before we even had like digital TV. So I'm glad I had that kind of experience. And there's more, you meet people in person. There's more that traditional socializing sort of thing, and all that more live interaction with people. So I don't know if that's going to get lost with all the technology. And I'm a bit scared that everything's going to be dependent on technology. I don't know what that's going to do for the way how we use our brains and things like that, for the average person. So I don't know, but I guess a lot more people are going to get into robotics and engineering. So maybe it will work out.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, how we use our brains. I've been reading a book on memory. I have it around here someplace, and it was talking about how memories really changed over the past, you know, really, I guess, just hundreds of years. Since writing was invented, thousands of years ago, we really haven't trained our memories to the same degree that we have. And now with like smartphones, you don't even need to remember the phone numbers of the people that you want to call. You just click on their name. You don't need to remember what you're doing this week. You just look at your calendar. I don't need to remember what you need to do. You have your to-do list. You don't need to remember anything. You can Google it.
Yeah.
And it's the other side of it is, because of all these things are like external of us, what really is inside of us that we're thinking about, that we're processing, that we're putting together, because you really can't synthesize anything if you're looking up every single detail from someplace else.
Yeah, exactly. You might not make all those connections, and it's kind of like your brain gets a bit lazy. So what are you gonna use it for? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't know. I mean, I know like a lot of kids and stuff, they're on the phone and everything through, even when they make a phone call, it's all through video and screen and things like that. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to pan out. I know that some people kind of want to go back to the old school way of doing things just to get that human interaction that they, just because they're missing it. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. I think it's going to have, yeah, it's definitely going to have its good points. But I think people are going to miss out on the way we did things growing up, I guess.
Yeah, I think every generation feels that about the next generation. Like, it's going to be so so different.
Yeah.
But
But then
yeah,
if they can just get in a space rocket and just zoom across to the other side of the world, that's pretty cool. That would be very cool.
but it only is cool if you get out and experience that part of the world that you're in. If you end up just being in another room with another screen talking to people, you know, and there's nothing to see or do.
That's true. It's like, really, what's the point? Yeah. I guess you just have to make of it what you want, isn't it? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what people will want to do. Hopefully people still want to travel in the traditional way and see countries, just explore and go off the beaten track and all that kind of stuff and have those kind of experiences. So I guess they do it, but they do it with a smartphone and, you know, Google Maps or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I started kayaking lately. Well, that's been kind of really neat to go, you know, get in the boat and go out on the water and see different things. I see all these birds, like different types, and they all so noisy and talk to each other. They have their own little social life. It's really amusing. Don't know what's going on, but it's fun sometimes to make up conversations they could be doing. You know? Like, you forgot the bread. I told you to go to get the bread, and the only thing you know.
Having a little like a bickery argument with their partner or something.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, kayaking would be fun. I wanted to do that kind of stuff, but I can't swim, so I'm always a bit scared. But
Well,
yeah.
definitely learn to swim first. That might be step one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should always be prepared for the worst case.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I might book some swimming lessons, definitely. Yeah. Oh, that's good. It's nice to sort of get out in nature and experience all those kind of things. I've got a couple of cats now. I got a kitten and a cat over COVID, and you really get tuned. It's a bit scary. You get a bit tuned into their personalities. I did not expect that. You know, like my cat talks a lot, obviously, like cat talk, and then yeah, they do communicate with you, which is quite funny. But I think it's mainly just to ask for food or to play or something like that. So
What kind of things do you play with your cat? Like, how do they like?
so they like Amazon boxes. They like to sit in an Amazon box. And then they like it's called a fishing pole. So they basically I don't know where mine is, but it's basically like a stick with a big string on it, and then at the end you put a feather on it, like a fake feather, and you just move it around like that, and they chase it. They really love that. And actually that's probably the main toy that they play with. They love it. And then they get when they catch it, they kind of like walk off really proudly with this sort of wand in their mouth. So it's quite funny. Fluffy wand in their mouth. And then they want you to do it again, and then you have to find the wand so that you can do it, because they don't know how to bring it back to you. So it's it was quite cool. But yeah, they love that. Sometimes you can get these like like automatic balls. So you charge them up, and then they just sort of roll around the floor. So if they're in the mood, they will chase it. But it's one of those things, they have to be in the mood for it. So sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. So sometimes you have to hide it for a few days. But they love the laser pointer as well. So they chase the laser pointer. So that's a really good one. But sometimes if I'm working and they want to play, if they want me to play with them, I can't play. So I'll try and put YouTube videos on so you can get these cat games on YouTube. So I'll try and put that on and hopefully they just sort of chase the dot or whatever on the TV. It's cool.
And my nieces, they have cats as well. And apparently there's this channel they tune into, like pictures of birds and mice and stuff. And they leave that on for the cats to watch.
The cats just watch it. They get really excited. They love it. So keeps them occupied.
It's really interesting. Oh, the funny thing is I go over there sometimes and it's like, I find it mesmerizing. It's like, so.
Yeah. Cats are really funny. And it's also the way they move as well. They like jerk their head around. And if you sort of like, if they're watching an object, and if say you got the fishing rod and you keep turning it around in circles, their head just like goes like this in circles in the same speed as the fishing rod. It's really funny. Yeah.
Well, Ali, I better let you go. I think I might need to get into the office. But I really thank you so much for participating in my project, and it was good to get to talk to you about your hobbies and interests, and sort of like your perspective on the future and what you think about us going back to the moon.
Yeah, no, it's good to talk to you as well, and I hope the project goes well, and I hope the new job goes well as well.
But thank you very much, and I hope our paths cross again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Hope so too. Oh, have a good day, and thanks for inviting me.
Well, thank you, and you have a good rest of your day too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See you later.